talking about games we like, has anyone played Gris?
Gris. Talk to me about Gris, Amy. I'm not familiar with it.
Gris is, I think it's Devolver Digital game.
Okay.
Maybe. It's hand-drawn watercolor art. Everything is a screenshot. It's beautiful, but it's not a massively gameplay focused game. It's a bit platformy. You have some powers and stuff, but it's a emotive, sad story with pretty pictures. It's such a good game. I really like it. Music in it's really nice. If you haven't played that, play that. It's good.
Yeah,
I
will have to
Gris.
give that a go.
Yeah.
Gris.
Yeah, GRIS.
GRIS. I will look out for that if I can ever tear myself away from Final Fantasy, because that game is taken over my life right now. I swear.
Make sure you give
Final Fantasy.
Mouse armor rest.
Yeah. I've really gotten into Final Fantasy 14, Darren.
Which one's 14?
It's the MMO. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know all that much about Final Fantasy. I've not played very many of them.
They're not really following on each other unless it's like you got, what was it, like there was an
10 and 10-2.
Yeah.
I think they had 13, 13-2. Yeah, there's a couple that do have sort of quote unquote sequels, but other than that, generally they're kind of their own self-contained stories. Like you often have concepts that are shared between each one, but the stories are all different. There's always a Sid. Yes, there is.
And you might probably find a Wedge and a Biggs somewhere.
Yes,
in the game.
Biggs and Wedge is like that's a running joke that I've noticed.
My partner's playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time.
Oh yeah,
and it's interesting to see a new person play it because obviously doesn't know where all the things are. So when we encounter sort of the bit where you get to dress up as a girl and do that storyline.
Yes, yeah.
That was completely out of left field for him, so that was really funny. But then I was really like trying to be like, oh, you do this to get the best stuff, and then you do this to get like. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to do any of that. So. Oh,
okay. You just had to figure it out for himself.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But
so is he playing through the remaster or the original game?
The original one.
Okay.
I had a look because I was curious on the remaster, but I had a look at the trailer and then I watched sort of like the first hour of gameplay. And while it's cool and stuff, ultimately I just want the same game again, but with better graphics and with an orchestral music score. That's all I want. I don't want to change the battle system. I like menus. They're fun. It's not an old system. It's just a different type of system. So yeah, I don't think I'll play it. But...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I have finished the remaster.
Did you like it?
I had some good fun playing it. It was infuriating because when I find a game that I really get into like that, I basically I play it until I've done everything in it and I can't do anything more. Trying to get that platinum trophy was infuriating.
What was the worst thing to achieve in it?
Well, the worst thing was just the difficulty run on the hard difficulty. So I started my second playthrough, and I got about halfway through, and then I realised I hadn't actually set the difficulty right.
No.
So I had to finish the game and then do half the game again to actually get the trophy. And then I was like, well, I'm halfway through. I might as well finish it one more time.
Always the way.
Always the way. There you go. What's everyone else been playing recently?
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, bit of Dead by Daylight.
Like I said, mostly RimWorld.
Wow.
I've been playing Warframe with my partner. Been consuming a bit of our life at the minute, but I really want to do a fresh playthrough of the Dragon Age series because I know the fourth one is on its way.
They're doing a fourth one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's news. Oh, I loved it.
It's going to be called Dragon Age Dreadwolf. There's been a lot of concept art released, a lot of teasers. It's looking really good. So I kind of want to replay the whole series and to get that fresh experience all over again.
Yeah. Oh, the first one is like my absolute favourite.
Mm-hmm.
I love
You can't
that
beat
one.
the first one. It
No,
had such a unique
Alistair.
story at the time.
It's got Alistair in it. He's my favourite.
Zevran.
Oh, he's also nice. Just all the characters in there are really good, and it's got Vala in it, so that's always a good thing. What's her name? She plays Vala in Stargate. She's in Pitch Black. She's in Gossip Girl briefly. Oh, what's her name? She's Australian.
That's 3 things I've never seen.
You've not seen Stargate?
Well, I might have caught half an episode of the movie.
Or Pitch
yes,
Black.
Absolutely. No, I've
Yeah.
never seen Pitch Black.
Oh, Pitch Black's a great film.
But no, I never watched the series for Stargate. And now they're rebooting it, apparently.
Really?
Claudia Black.
They did.
She's-
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's very famous.
exactly. She's in Farscape.
I was going to say
Okay.
Farscape is her most famous thing. And
Yeah.
what's that new animated one? Final Space. She's in Final
Yeah,
Space.
she's in loads of stuff, but I know her from as Vala from Stargate, mainly. But yes, she's is it Morrigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the voice in that in Dragon Age.
And she does it so well.
Yeah, she's really good. Oh, I might play Dragon Age now. That's such a-
I was
I
just
love that
thinking I
first
might
one.
reinstall
Yeah,
whatever the last one was.
Inquisition.
Inquisition, that was it.
I never
a great
played
game.
Inquisition. I only played
great.
as far as Origins.
You missed 2, which is good because 2 sucked.
I liked it for what it was, but it wasn't the same experience.
No, after doing the first one and enjoying that one so much, 2 was such a letdown. But 3 brought it back a bit. But yeah, the first one still is the best, I think.
Cool. Well, speaking of the first one being the best, welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm a GM for this game and for many others. And I'm joined by Stu.
Hello.
I'm joined by Darren.
Hello.
I'm joined by Amy.
Hi.
And we're joined once again by Asta.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. I know. I just said, speaking of the first one being the best, I really hope that doesn't apply to this recording session, because that last one was a mess.
Yeah.
I thought you meant our first episode, because, I mean, the sound quality has improved dramatically since those first 3 episodes.
It definitely has. Do you know what, Stu? I've actually recently started listening back through to like the early episodes of 20 Side.
Do you miss me?
I do. I'm not quite got. I've not quite got Amy back in the picture yet. I'm on episode 27, so
You've
not
got
far
40
to go.
No,
Not
40
far.
to go.
Just another 100 episodes to go then, to catch up.
That's it. That's it.
Is this because you've forgotten things you've said?
No, it's. I'll be honest. It's my kind of one bit of vanity that I allow myself. Is I quite like hearing myself run the game. So I'm like, oh, do you know what? I'm just gonna play it again, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Just get some enjoyment out of that.
It's funny, we find that in the acting world that, like you take me as an actor, I'm more than happy to watch myself back, to listen to stuff I've done. I can critique myself, I can learn from it. I know you, Darren, you hate seeing yourself back, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, it's
Not a
I
fan
like
of
rereading
watching
it.
myself back or hearing my own voice.
Yeah, it's funny how binary actors seem to be. They seem to be at one extreme or the other, like perfectly fine with it, enjoy it, or hate it.
It's really like when you've worked on something and then you go to like a cast and crew screening of it or something. Kind of want to sit and enjoy it and take it in, but I'm just anxious through the whole thing. yeah, I don't like watching myself. Maybe there's something that will change over time, but I've never been one for it.
I get why. I think I'm just really lucky that I'm quite pragmatic and objective. Like, I've done it, I can't change it now, so...
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how shit I was.
I just find it... I don't know... I just find it embarrassing, and I don't know why. It just makes me feel a little uneasy.
Okay. Therapy might help you.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's my answer to everything. Therapy.
I mean, that is literally what it's there for, after all.
It's good stuff.
Speaking of needing therapy, Aster, your character has just met this really weird group.
Yeah. I don't think she knows what to make of any of you at the minute. You just
Quite right too.
unpiled this whole stock of stuff in front of her, and she's just like, right.
Sure, great.
What?
Hello.
Am I meant to do with this?
Yeah, here's a bunch of stuff covered in blood. Hello, I'm Alwyn.
I tell you what, for as much experience as I have kind of running RPGs and all that sort of stuff, one of the things I always struggle with is the introducing of new characters to an existing party. Like, it's just such a difficult thing to do. Such a difficult thing to do, because obviously you have to find a way, and it can sometimes feel very 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 artificial because you've got to find a reason for the new character to join on with the current party, and at the same time you've also got to find a reason for the new party the current party to accept the new character. Something I've never quite gotten right. It always ends up feeling, at least for me, a little bit awkward, a little bit weird. I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't get that from this end, but I always think with introducing new characters, because as a party we're meeting new characters all the time. So yeah, the fact it's a player character rather than an NPC doesn't make much odds.
Just means they've got a different voice.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not me doing a really offensive attempt at an accent. It's somebody else instead.
Yes. Let's not hear you Yorkshire again. Yes.
Don't think I've ever done Yorkshire on this podcast, you?
No, but I've heard you.
Well, there's no time like the present. Della wants to go talk to this random person over here, please.
Yeah, Stalker Catan trips and falls as you walk over to him. He knocks his head, he stands up, he's all, hey up, love, how you doing? What can I do for you? No, he doesn't. That doesn't happen.
But it should.
Oh, Stu's so offended.
I can see the rage on Stu's face. This is going to be a good episode. This is going to be a good one.
Well, no one's dropped out so far, so this is going well so far.
Why would you say
Jinxed
that, Amy? Why would you say that?
All
Bring
the
in
time.
the chaos in. Bring in the chaos in.
You have given me glaring eyes through the screen when I say things like, yeah, we're going to survive this, and things like that. And the way you glare at me.
I just glare. That's just my face, Stu. You should know that by now.
Dear, awesome. Well, shall we find out exactly what manner of accident befalls Stalker Catan in the next 5 seconds?
Let's not have Stalker Catan in an accident. Della was ready in action to prevent Stalker Catan from having an accident.
That's a pretty good use of a ready action.
Yeah. Walking around carrying a bucket.
Amy's gone. Amy's gone. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. let's hope this is more successful than last time. Shall we have a recap of what happened last time we were all together?
Hope is for losers, right? Yeah. So we were on our way down to meet Red Raven, and on our way down we bumped into Stalker Catan, who said that Red Raven was expecting us. So we went to go say hello, and she said she could give us a hand, but she doesn't quite know how she can help. But we're going to go talk to Stalker Catan. And then I think Alwyn stayed behind to talk to her, but I don't know what happened after that because I was out of earshot.
That's it. Why doesn't Alwyn tell us what happened?
He stayed behind because it's been nagging away at his brain about how familiar Red Raven has been to a character from Alwyn's past, known as Nomi. And he has basically asked Red Raven if she is Nomi, and the answer is yes.
How's Alwyn feeling about
that? Shell-shocked. Kind of really... I mean, not back-footed because he's asked the question, but it's a bit... It's a lot of emotions within Alwyn. I mean, Alwyn's quite an emotional person anyway. I think that's pretty clear so far.
Yes.
And yeah, he's getting a lot of emotions bubbling up as a result of this, and it's what do you do with that kind of information?
Yeah, exactly. Well, how about we find out what Alwyn does with that information?
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear our new character's take on the party so far.
Chaos?
Yes!
Yeah.
Pure chaos.
Sums it up very nicely, I think. Yeah, pretty diverse band.
Yeah.
And you've not even met Otto yet, so, you know.
No. And he's like,
no, there's more of you! No!
Oh. Yes. We're the lawful good arm of the party by comparison, I think.
I'm not.
No,
nobody in this party is lawful good.
No.
By comparison.
Is Alwyn not on that sort of side?
Alwyn's not lawful good, no.
No, where were you sitting?
In my study at the moment. I mean, we've talked about alignments a little bit. We're not. I don't think we're kind of entirely married.
No, I suppose like, where would you
as
put
an
him?
As an official, he's chaotic good.
Yeah. Just because the champion cause, we've talked about this a bit before. So we don't really do alignment, but Alwyn is the only one who has a hard cast alignment because his class depends on it.
Yeah. No, that I knew there was good in there somewhere.
Which is why Caden Kalian had to have a serious chat with him when he really got a bit murdery.
Yes.
But with good reason. With good reason. He was driven to it. Still. Anyway, he's learned.
He was. All right, well, let's jump straight back into the game, folks. So yeah, Alwyn, you stand before the entrance to the Vernal Prison amidst this plaza of the Caligny, and standing in front of you is the tall, statuesque form of Red Raven in her leathers, her bow slung across her back, and the last thing that happened is, Alwyn, you asked her if she was Nomi Gildergreen, this individual from your past, and with a smirk and words to the effect of, I wondered when you'd figure it out. She removed her cowl, and as blonde hair cascaded down her back, her emerald green eyes met with yours, Alwyn, and she said, "It's been a long time, Redfinger. What do you do?"
I thought... Didn't Grug... Well, I remember seeing you fall. And what happened? How did you... So many questions. Like, shit.
Well, it's good to see you too, Alwyn. To answer the most, I suppose, the most pressing question, what happened after Grug caught up with us? Well, the short answer is I died, Alwyn. I died in that encampment with those spears in me and those weights and those bindings.
Alwyn shudders as he remembers.
And it wasn't... As I remember, it was, despite all the things they did to me, it was relatively quick. But I remember lingering. I remember lying there in the mud, unable to move, unable to speak, unable to do anything. But somehow I was aware of everything that was happening around me. I remember watching Grug beat you. I remember them putting you in that sack. I remember them throwing you into that river. And then they moved on. They left me there. And I laid on that ground for, well, I don't know how long. Hours turned into days, days turned into nights. And, well, after a long period of time, I started to wonder if I would ever move on, or if I was doomed to return to that site of my death as some lingering spirit. And then she came to me with an offer, and as Nomi says that her hand almost absent-mindedly drifts to the half symbol of Erastil and Pharasma that hangs around her neck. She sort of strokes it almost absent-mindedly. Yes, the Lady of Graves made me an offer, I suppose. Are you familiar with the Duskwalkers?
Am I familiar with the Duskwalkers?
You can make a religion check, Alwyn.
Okay.
First dice roll this evening.
It is. We didn't do any last episode. 23.
23. It's pretty good. In fact, I think we might have gone through this sort of briefly beforehand. So yeah, a Duskwalker is essentially a being that Pharasma has returned to life. They first manifested as the result of a bargain between two powerful psychopomps, which are the immortal guardians and guides of souls after death. They usher deceased spirits onto Pharasma's boneyard, and then from the boneyard to wherever Pharasma judges them to go. This bargain, basically, one of these psychopomps believed that souls who helped preserve the cycle of life and death, but had their own cut short, deserved reincarnation, whereas the other psychopomp felt that this would violate that same cycle. And the first Duskwalkers were basically an answer to that problem. there are only a limited number of Duskwalkers in existence at any one time, and because they are created directly in Pharasma's name, there is a degree of servitude with Pharasma. So they will perform functions and roles that Pharasma has an interest in. Yeah, they in terms of their physiology and all that sort of stuff, you don't know too much about them. I mean, the most obvious difference between Nomi now and the Nomi of perhaps 20 years ago is that her skin is now this sort of pale duck egg blue. That's the biggest difference. Everything else appears, as physically identical as you'd previously seen.
Yes, I've heard of Duskwalkers. So you're undead in the service of Pharasma?
No, Alwyn. I would have thought you would know Pharasma's dogmas better than that. I'm not undead. She wouldn't. The Lady of Graves abhors undeath. She would never create it herself. I am as living as I once was, just perhaps a little different.
Right. And now you're here.
Yes. This is my... I've mentioned before that it is my duty to guard the Vernal Prison to make sure the Jarl of the North Wind either escapes or is released before his sentence is served. I am not the first Duskwalker to take the position and take the name of Red Raven. We, in exchange for our rebirth, you could say, Duskwalkers we are bound to Pharasma's service for 100 years, after which time we are free to travel the world, make a new life for ourselves. And it just so happens that the individual who served as Red Raven before me, they finished their service not long before I died.
Right. If I'd have known, if I'd have known you survived, carried on, I would have sought you out.
You couldn't have known, Alwyn. There's no way you could possibly have known. There's no way I could have told you either. You see, as part of the bargain we have with Pharasma, Duskwalkers, if we encounter fragments of our past lives, we are not allowed to acknowledge them unless they first acknowledge us. That's why I couldn't tell you, Alwyn, when you arrived here.
Right. Gosh, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in.
I know.
I thought I was being silly and just, I don't know, wishful thinking, I suppose. I've got so much to think about. I always, well, I suppose I blamed Erastil for what happened.
You did. I know you did, Alwyn. I can see it in your eyes. I can see that there was anger, for certain. Perhaps disappointment. You know, I had always taught you that Erastil is the god of family, and that he looks after his own and he never lets harm come to him. come to them, but perhaps that's a failure in my own teachings. Because now I see that was a wholly unrealistic notion to put in your head.
No, family is still important to me, and indeed, well, he'll gesture in the direction that his companions have left. I have a family of sorts. Speaking of which, I'd better catch up with them. I'll come and talk with you again if that's all right.
Of course it is, Alwyn. I'm certainly not going anywhere. I've got another 96 years of sentry duty ahead of me.
Nod
Go.
solemnly.
Go find your friends. We'll speak soon.
And, with tears streaming down his face, he walks away after them.
And as you turn away, Alwyn, you see she replaces the cowl over her face, the leather sort of stretching tight to her skin, and she resumes her position on watch. Meanwhile, what's everybody else doing?
Nattering away to stalk a time as to where this tower might have been.
Yeah, so
I've got a good eye for roads.
Yeah. So you sort of you start speaking with Stalker Catan, and he's there. He sort of says to you, "Yes, this tower that you're seeking to find, I think I know of it. It's towards the north of the city, is it not?"
Yes.
Yes. Well, at the very, I'm not certain exactly where it would be here in the Undercity. The street layouts don't quite match exactly the same as they do on the surface. However, I think I can probably help you. I have a rough idea. I know the rough direction of it at the very least.
Good. We will find it. Maybe there'll be frozen ice or something.
Perhaps. I've not seen any ice down here aside from that which makes up the walls of Red Raven's prison. But perhaps. Alwyn.
Yes.
Hello. Are you all right?
I will be. Thank you. How are you getting on?
Well, Stalker Catan thinks he knows the rough area we need to be looking in. So that's a start.
Excellent. Shall we?
Yeah. If you feel up for it.
Brother Amos will give Alwyn a little friendly pat squeeze on the shoulder.
And Alwyn will put his hand over the
affection.
top and give that a squeeze. And a smile to Amos.
Smile to Amos. As you do so, Alwyn, so Raiden, as this interaction is kind of happening in front of you, you see the individual just introduced you as Alwyn rejoins your little group, clearly distressed about something. You see his companions approach him and offer him some words of encouragement. What's Raiden doing whilst all this is going on? Is she just in the back?
Quietly observing and sort of from just watching, trying to learn a little bit about the people that she's just joined.
Yeah.
But after a moment, she'll pull a dark red lace handkerchief from up her sleeve and hold it out.
Okay. As you go to take that handkerchief out from your sleeve, Raiden, just make a perception check for me.
Okay. $27.
27.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
So Raiden's a level 15 character.
So, Raiden, as you're sort of observing this scene in front of you, and you decide to start sort of offering perhaps a little bit of comfort to this man in front of you. Why is that not copying? As you begin to pull the handkerchief from your sleeve, Raiden, you see movement up in one of the ruined buildings, and as your eyes sort of look roughly in that direction, you catch a glimpse of a tall, grey-skinned humanoid, its skin stretched tight against its body, and in fact, it's blended into the darkness so well that you wouldn't have seen it were it not for the glowing light burning through its eye sockets and where its nose and its mouth would be. And in that instant, Raiden, you see a long, sinewy longbow raised in the direction of your party, and the arrow string is pulled back. What do you do?
I will raise a hand and point in that direction and just shout in warning.
Okay, as you shout in warning there, Raiden, I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Yay!
Dirty 20 for Alwyn.
Okay, so, Asta, for your benefit, when we roll initiative, it's not like 5th edition where you have an initiative score. Instead, for initiative, you are rolling a d20 and adding your perception bonus.
Okay.
27.
14.
14.
Stella gets an 18.
Definitely not a level 15 character
I think we're having a bit distracted.
Alwyn,
where
what's
are you
yours?
pointing?
What was yours, Alwyn?
then. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so Amos was 25, Alwyn was 20, Raiden was 14, and Della was 18. Is that correct?
Yeah.
27.
Perfect. Or 27 for Amos. Apologies. Perfect. So again, Asta, at the risk of confusing you with multiple things, when we roll initiative, there are situations where you can use something other than perception. Basically, if you want to use a different skill because of something you're doing at the moment that initiative is called for, you can use that skill instead.
Okay, thank you.
Providing that I allow you to do so. It's not so much for yourself with your class, but for classes like the rogue, they get bonuses if they use stealth, for example, which is nice.
I wasn't being stealthy right now, though.
Definitely were not. Definitely were not. Actually, acting first in initiative is going to be Brother Amos. So Amos, as this woman Raiden who you've just met, you see she starts to pull this crimson handkerchief out of one of her sleeves, and then spots something up in one of the ruined buildings, off, sort of behind you and to your left, and you sort of whip round, Amos, and you can see the same thing in one of the ruined buildings, sort of 5, 10. So the building is perhaps 20 feet from you on the ground, and up on what would be the second floor, you can make out this gaunt, grey-skinned humanoid creature with glowing red eyes and red light where its nose and mouth would be. Is looking roughly in your direction, and you can see that it has drawn a bow that is pointing towards you. What do you do? It's your turn.
Is there anything to take cover behind?
Yeah, there probably is actually. There's you can see there's a few chunks of rubble that sort of lie in the centre of this plaza.
I want to take cover and not get hit by an arrow.
Fair enough. So yeah, I think
but then move forward. I don't know if it's doable with the mechanics, but when he's redrawing, I don't see the point in standing out in the open and running at him whilst he's got a bow and arrow aimed at me. What's he, 30 odd foot away?
Yeah, sure. So I tell you what, from where you are, Amos, if you wanted to use your first action to move behind sort of a chunk of this rubble, you would get yourself some cover from any arrow fire, and then if you wanted to use your last 2 actions to ready a move, you could say that when he's loosed the arrow, you run forward 30 feet or whatever, 25 feet.
Yeah.
Let's
do that. Yeah.
Awesome. What is your movement speed, Amos?
35.
35. Okay. So yeah, certainly from where you are, you can sort of make the building in a dead sprint if you had to. All right. That's going to end your turn for now, Amos. We are round 2. These bow-wielding individuals, and indeed, Amos, as you duck and you take cover behind one of these chunks of rubble, you hear an arrow whistle through the air as a bowstring twangs. As 2 bowstrings twang. One flies from the direction you'd seen. Another out of the darkness off to your left, you see another arrow come shooting in the direction of your group. One will come towards Amos. And the other's going to come towards... who's nearest? It's actually going to come towards Raiden. So the first arrow against Amos, that is going to be a 27 against your AC. From the cover you've got, so you're going to get a +2 bonus.
Yeah, that hits.
That hits, unfortunately. Against Raiden, that is a 22 to hit on your AC.
That hits.
That hits, okay. So, got some arrows. Arrows.
I'm guessing they're out of range for me.
They are more than 15 feet away, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thought I'd check.
That's fine. So, Amos, you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Raiden, you also take 8 points of piercing damage as these arrows that appear to be made almost entirely of bone sort of pierce through your bodies. And I also need, as they strike you, you feel a chill run through the wound and across your body. I need you both to give me a fortitude save, please.
$29.
29, very nice. And for Raiden?
30.
30, very nice. So as you feel this chill wash across your bodies, you feel it sap your strength, or start to sap your strength just a little bit. But the two of you grit your teeth and you endure through the sensation, and you suffer no additional ill effects. Amos, that will trigger your ready action if you want it.
Yes. Right. Run to cover.
Duck and cover, very, very, very nice. So you can sort of basically with that move, you can sort of run to the base of the building nearest to you, where one of these creatures is in an elevated position. You sort of dive over cover, drop and roll, and sprint for the safety of the wall. As you run past, another round of arrows are going to come out. One will come towards you again, Amos.
Mm-hmm.
But that is only going to be a 20 to hit.
That does not hit.
That is a miss, okay. The second one is going to come towards... this time into the rest of the main pack, coming towards Chardonnay. 14 to hit.
Nah.
And then lastly, we get two more arrow shots. One coming towards Alwyn, one coming towards Della. Against Alwyn, that is just an embarrassing number. I'm not even going to say what it is. And against Della, that's better. Total of 21 there, Della.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. You've been given just enough warning of this arrow fire coming in that you sort of nimbly duck out the way of the shot. That brings us around to Alwyn's turn.
Embarrassing number. It wasn't that Gary happened to roll the natural 1, was it?
It was not, and also his name's not Gary.
Damn it.
Let's not give him a name now.
Okay. So,
because the second we do, the next roll will be a natural 20.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. Okay, first action, Alwyn is going to tell Chardonnay to take cover with Brother Amos.
Yep. So Chardonnay's move speed is 35?
40. It's either 35 or 40. 35.
So yes, Chardonnay can easily move up next to Amos.
Okay. Second action, Alwyn is going to draw his longbow.
Mm-hmm.
Third action, he's going to loose an arrow at the first one that Raiden pointed out.
So the one that Amos and Chardonnay are rushing towards.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
roll that attack.
That was almost 19 on the die, but it's a 14 for 28.
28 is still a hit, Alwyn. Roll damage.
Excellent. That is 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage, okay. 2 points of piercing damage as the arrow passes through this creature's body. One action left, Alwyn.
Alwyn will... no, that's... So, Chardonnay, draw the longbow, fire.
Oh, that's right, and shoot. Sorry, I thought you... for some reason, I thought you had the bow already out. I don't know why.
No.
That will end Alwyn's turn. We're on to Della.
Cool. The other bow shooting humanoid, can I see them? Or do we not know where they come from?
You can see it. I mean, now the arrow has come out of the darkness. You sort of look kind of in front of you, Della, but off to your right. You can see 40 feet away from you, and about 20 feet up again in one of these ruined buildings. You can make out the telltale red glow of this creature's face.
Okay, so my ultimate end goal is to run over there, sneak up the wall, and stab him in through the window.
Okay. That sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I need to sneak first and then get over there, or get over there and then sneak up. I think somehow losing sight on my way would be better. Maybe.
Yeah. So because most of the plaza is sort of quite an open area, aside from a couple of chunks of rubble here and there that you saw Amos using as cover against the first shooter. Yeah, I tell you what, Della. If you roll stealth first, just to see if you can get yourself out of sight as you approach.
All right, sneaky. Ooh, I rolled very nicely. I got a 32.
A 32, very, very nice. I think that's going to... This is perception DC. What is it?
5.
There we go. Was sorry, your stealth roll was how much?
32.
32, yeah. Very, very nice. So Della, using the distraction of Amos and Chardonnay rushing towards, you kind of follow slinking in the shadows, hoping that their attention is focused elsewhere. With your first action, 10, 30. Your first action will get you within 5 feet of the wall of this building.
Mm-hmm. And I want to climb up the wall and get to the window.
Yeah, climb up the wall, get to the position where this individual is shooting from. Okay, in that case, let's have an athletics roll, Della.
Okie dokie. Let's roll well with this one, otherwise this could get fun. Athletics. I'm going to use my hero point.
All right, use your hero point.
I rolled a 1. Better. That's a 23.
A 23. Okay, it's not a clean climb. Like you can see, some of this masonry has clearly not been disturbed in some time, and as you start to climb up, you can feel that it is fragile. What I'm going to say is it's going to take basically both your remaining moves, but you can pull yourself up onto kind of a ledge almost directly below where you can see this creature shooting from. As a bonus, it does not appear to have noticed you.
Wonderful. Ooh, I'm looking forward to my next game. Right.
That's it. This is going to be some Shadow of Mordor shit right here.
Yeah.
Lean up and stab him in the chest and throw him to the ground, that kind of thing. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, end of Della's turn. We are round to Raiden, having just been shot by one of these bone-like arrows.
So we can see both of the attackers at the moment.
Yes. What I will say is, from where they currently are, the first is... from where you currently are, the first is 35 feet from you, and... Sorry, the first is 40 feet from you, the first one you saw, and the second one that Della is moving to engage is 35 feet from you.
Okay. I would like to use my reach spell to increase the range of phase bolt.
Ooh, okay, very nice. Talk to me about phase bolt.
I project a bolt of magical energy that stutters in and out of phase until it reaches the target. It's a ranged spell attack.
Nice. But basically, it ignores shields and stuff, doesn't it? What it does.
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right then. Please roll a spell attack there, Raiden.
26.
26 is going to hit. Which creature are you targeting?
The one that Della was going towards.
Della's moving towards. Sure thing. So yeah, you sort of lift up your fingers and what does this look like as we see Raiden spellcasting for the first time?
It sort of surges into a crackling ball of purple that matches the colour of her amethyst eye, and begins to violently sort of shrink and expand in and out of sort of matter and existence as it spears towards the assailant.
Very, very nice.
Sounds delicious.
It sort of flickers and jutters as it disappears from sight briefly as you cast it, and then there is a thud as this bolt slams into the creature's chest. Roll damage for it, Asta. So it's going to be a D4 plus your intelligence modifier.
That will be 6 damage.
6 damage, very nice.
Piercing.
6 piercing damage. 6 piercing damage. All right, yeah. You sort of lift up and you strike them. You strike the creature with this. It seems to sort of stagger back from the impact of the blow. Again, is looking in the direction of your party now with renewed vigour as it draws its bow once more. I believe that's all 3 of your actions, Raiden.
Yes, it is.
It is, all right. End of Raiden's turn. It is Brother Amos, top of the round.
So the creature is above me now.
It is, yes. I mean, you would obviously need to climb up onto the same level. Is it?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Athletics roll, please.
Athletics roll. 24.
24 again. You find this much the same as Della does. You sort of start placing your fingers and your hands onto this wall, and there are sections of it that are just crumbling away, just at the slightest touch. But you find a sturdy section, and you are able to haul yourself up. It will take you 2 actions to do so, but you get yourself up onto the same level as the archer. And you can see as you sort of haul yourself over what's left of the crumbling railing, it kind of turns to you with a malice in its eyes, and you can see one of its hands drops down towards a long sword that it has at its side. But that's you've got one action left.
Oh, I'm going to punch it, aren't I?
Yeah. Punch that skeleton, that white, that zombie, whatever it is.
Gonna flurry of blows it.
Sure thing. Let's make you 2 attacks.
First one. 22.
And 22 is gonna hit. Just hits.
Second one. 26.
26, that also hits. Roll some damage there.
9 and 7
for a total of 16. Oh, very nice. You flip over the balcony, roll on the ground, spring to your feet, and just pop the creature twice in the chest with your fists. As you strike it, you sort of you find you're bouncing off of looks to be quite withered flesh. As you strike the creature, it sort of gurgles in reaction to the impact. I think that's your turn, isn't it, Amos?
Yeah, that's me done.
All right, okay. At the end of your turn, Amos, we are back around to these mysterious assailants. You see the creature before you throws its bow to one side. Its hand drifts toward the longsword. There is a rasp of metal as the sword is drawn from its scabbard, and it thrusts the blade toward you. And we'll find out what happens next week.
from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by hooksounds.com and editing by Stu Jackson. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com. Going to get tired hanging off this ledge for a whole week. Should have thought about that.
That's it. Hope Della's been doing her pull-ups.
Yeah. It's like hanging by her fingertips. You know, there's really epic climbers that can hold on to nothing.
Yeah.
It's just not like that.
Like Spider-Man.
In my head, it played out that Amos would just run, dodging arrows, leap up to the second floor, and then 1-inch punch the fucker into oblivion.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty cool visual, to be honest.
Didn't play out like that.
That can absolutely have happened as you sort of these arrows come raining in. You're dodging them, ducking, dodging, dipping, diving, and dodging. You spring up onto the balcony, and then you have to get like a couple of warm up punches in first. But next time you're going for that big one.
Yeah.